Debbie and I are really happy to welcome Eva Guzman to the podcast. Now, Eva was for 12 years on the Texas Supreme Court. She was appointed by Governor Perry, but she stepped down and she is running for Texas Attorney General. I'd like to play a short clip from her campaign, and here it is. Listen.
This is a story about my Texas.
I'm Eva Guzman. I was a Texas judge for 22 years, more than half of them on the Texas Supreme Court. But my story isn't just about this place.
It's about this place where my siblings and I went to college. Our mom was here too. Not here, but here, working hard, doing what she could to help our family of 9 get ahead.
It's an amazing story, and I wanted Debbie to join me for this. You've actually known Eva, and why don't you take it from here and introduce her in maybe a little more personal way, and then let's have a conversation.
Eva, welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing terrific. Thank you for having me. It's so good to be here, Debbie and Dinesh. Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about, the commercial that you played, your ad campaign, really talks about your roots and your family. I want you to talk a little bit more about that and your upbringing and the fact that you are very conservative and your conservative upbringing and why that's important when we vote.
Well, I think thank you for the opportunity to talk about something that's immigrants to live the American dream. Illegal immigration leads to the devastation that we see at the border. It impacts American lives. And when you think about the cost of that, you can understand why legal immigration is really the foundation of American success stories. So I grew up in Houston's East End. And I was the middle of 7 children, and my parents were legal immigrants. My dad came, then my mother joined him after she obtained her green card. And my dad was a welder, smartest man I'd ever met in my life still. But they had less than 6th grade educations. But they understood one thing, and that's that in America, if you're willing to work hard, if you are a person of faith, if you love this country, and you get an education, anything can happen. So we did. All 7 of their children went to college and have college degrees.
Eva, talk for a moment about why you've laid out a story which almost seems like the story of the Republican Party. I mean, if I talk about my own background as an immigrant, someone who came to America at the age of 17, I would almost echo the exact words that you just used. And so this is a multiracial story of people coming to America, starting at the bottom of the ladder, making their way up. And yet, by and large, not just Hispanics, but Mexican Americans in particular, have been strongly wedded to the Democratic Party, which certainly seems to have a very different narrative about getting ahead. Their idea is that you get ahead through government assistance, that people of color in particular can't make it in America. Systematic racism keeps you down. Has your experience, the way you view it, been a refutation of that? Talk about Hispanic values and conservative values.
Sure. Growing up, of course, we honored our Hispanic heritage. We had traditional meals and the tortillas and the frijoles at every meal that we wanted to, but we lived as Americans. We embraced American ideals and American exceptionalism. So if I go back to my home growing up in Houston's East End in that 2-bedroom home, where 9 of us lived, then my dad added on, then there were more bedrooms but we had God honoring values, things like hard work. I saw my dad get up at 5 every day to go to that welding job and never complained. He was happy to have a job, happy to go to work. We saw accountability. If we didn't do well in school, Dad let us know. Devotion to family, devotion to God, and an allegiance to our country. The only flag that was ever flown in our home was the American flag. And along with those values went a commitment to serve others. When my dad passed away, there were people that showed up at his funeral and they said, you all don't know this, but your dad was there when we were hungry, when we needed it. So we are a family committed to service.
Eva, you chose the profession of the law, and now you're running for Attorney General. Can you say a word about why the law is important to you and important in society? And what is it about tell us a little bit about the job that you're running for.
Well, listen, I've been a judge for 22 years. I was a judge on the trial court, then on the intermediate appellate court, and then on the Texas Supreme Court, Texas's highest court. And when Governor Perry appointed me to the Texas Supreme Court, he described me as a strict constructionist, a principled conservative judge. And what I know from that role is that good judges, don't legislate from the bench. And our justice system depends on honest, capable judges who will uphold the rule of law. The Attorney General's job. Look, Texans are hiring an Attorney General. They need a warrior. They need someone who has the experience, the know-how, and the integrity that Texans deserve. And they'll find that in me. I've served, as I said, in the judiciary, and I understand the issues that impact our families, our property, and importantly, our freedoms. I know how to protect and defend our Constitution. And Texans deserve someone that will show up and stand up and speak up for our constitutional values, and someone that can devote themselves full-time to push against government overreach, to stand up for the Second Amendment. I'm married to a law enforcement officer, Houston Police. He's retired now, but he served for 37 years. So I understand what it's like. I know the heart of our police officers, and I know how important it is to stand up for them and to defend them. I know how important it is to stand up for the unborn. And that's what I will do as Attorney General. You have to be a lawyer to be an Attorney General. If you've never practiced law, I wouldn't hire a lawyer who'd never practiced law. Should Texas?
When we come back, we want to dive into some of the big issues that are roiling not just Texas, but the country, and get Eva Guzman's take on them.